Hi, I'm Susan. Welcome to Keepsake Books to Celebrate and Commemorate. Today's book is actually a necklace. It is a little book about gratitude, and I'm going to show you what's really cool about it is that here it is closed. When you open it up, it becomes a three-dimensional object. And we can push this button down, and now you will have something. So you can be wearing it, but inside there is this wonderful thing just waiting to come out. It's something that you can hang. You can also make them as something that you can hang up and as an ornament. For this book, we're going to need one piece of paper. I've used something from the recycle bin with writing on one side. You can do that, or you can use something that's blank. The reason for using a blank piece might be that this is going to show. It's not going to be on the pages where you're actually showing your writing and stuff, but it is going to show. We need something stiff for a cover. I've used a piece of a cereal box. We need a scissors to cut them with. Then there is a piece of scrap paper to go with our glue stick, a piece of ribbon, and a button. And we're going to start with the paper. Our pages are going to be square. We want to start by making this into a square. So we are going to fold it on the diagonal, and I'm going to do it so that my writing is on the inside. So we're folding it on the diagonal, and then we're going to cut this piece off. And then I want to take this big square and I want to turn this into 4 smaller squares. So I'm going to fold it in half, open it up and cut it. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other 2 pieces. I'm going to fold it in half and cut it. And then do the same thing here, and then I will have 4 square small pieces. Now, so we're going to make 4 sections for this book, and then we're going to glue them together. It's handy that when we made that diagonal fold, because the first fold we're going to make the sections is a diagonal fold. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of recrease it. And then I'm going to open it up, and I want to set it down in front of me. You want it to look like a square. So when you look at it, you see a square. It could be a diamond. You don't want a diamond. You want a square. We're going to take the bottom edge and bring it up to meet the top edge. We're going to unfold it, open it up, side edge to side edge, and crease it. And then we're going to take where the diagonal fold is. We're going to take those 2 corners, hold them together like it's a basket, and then just put it down and flatten it. And then we'll do the same thing again. So I'm just going to trim this a little bit here. I see it's not quite straight. So start with my diagonal fold. Put it in front of me. 2 things you want to remember. It should be like a square, and this fold should be up like a mountain, and that's important. We're going to make the next 2 steps. You are not going to lift the paper off the table because you don't want to lose the fact that this is a mountain. So I'm going to take the bottom edge, bring it up to the top edge, crease it, open it up, side to side, crease it, open it up, basket, flatten. Now, when you look at this, sometimes you might find that you're having trouble getting it to flatten. And if that is the case, the reason is most likely because you don't have the right combination of folds. So first thing, you always want to check that. This is a mountain. The diagonal is always a mountain, and these 2 are always valleys. So I have 2, and I'm just going to put 2 more into the pile so you don't have to watch me do it over and over again. So now I'm going to attach my sections together. What I'm going to do is, if you look here, if you notice on the thing, one end it's just like a folded point there. The other side, it's all open. And when I pile them on top of each other, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting glue on this one, put the next one on top, and just stack them up. And I want to make sure that they all point in the same direction. So what I find helpful is I just arrange them all 1, 2, 3. They're all pointed in the direction that I want them to. So the open side is facing that way. Now I'm going to take my glue stick, and you can use other kinds of glue, but I find this is the easiest. And I'm going to cover the whole thing with glue. And I'm doing it on scrap paper so I don't make a mess. And now I will take the next one, set it on top, line everything up as best I can. The open side is going to be at one end and the other one, and I'll just smooth it down. Do another one. Line it up. Press down, and one more. And so line it up and press down. And then when I glue a stack like this, what I like to do is just go back and really put pressure, because what makes the glue stick is putting some pressure, helping it to adhere. So I'm going to go back to all the places where I made a join of two pieces with the glue, and I'm going to smooth them down and press on them. And now I have my stack. So what I need to do now is to get the cover ready for this book. I'm not going to glue it on yet, but I'm going to get it ready. So I have my pages, and I'm going to put it on the stiff piece of paper that I'm using for the cover. I want it as close to the edge as I can get it, but it's not folded absolutely perfectly even, so it might not be completely even all the way around. When I cut it, I'm going to cut up here first, because I don't want to cut, I want to make sure that I have room for the other one. So I'm going to, that I have enough paper to do the second one. So I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to cut it. You could also use a pen, make a pencil line if you want, but I'm just going to cut it and cut it here. Then I will take this and I will cut another one. So then I will have one cover for the front and one cover for the back. The next thing I do before I do anything with the cover is I'm going to put the ribbon on here. This is what's going to make it into a necklace. So if you look at the pages, we have the open side here, and then this is the side where all the folds are. This is where the ribbon wraps around. So the midpoint of the ribbon is going to rest right on that. And I'm going to glue this on here to make it easier when I put the cover on. So right down the center, I'm going to put some glue. Then I've got the midpoint of my ribbon, and I'm just going to set this on here and place it like this. Then I'll turn it over, put some more glue. I want to go really tight against there and put some glue. So now I have my ribbon on and I'm ready to put my cover. I'm going to start on one side, put my glue, and then I will put the cover on. And I'm going to try to center this. I'm going to look at what I'm doing. I'm going to look at it from this side because I want to make sure that none of the paper sticks out of here. Then I'll do that trick that we did before of opening it up and just putting some pressure on right where I put the glue. And then I do the same thing on the other side. And this time I'll line the covers up. Open it up and smooth it out. And you saw here, you notice I didn't pay a lot of attention to it. When you are putting the cover on, when you're gluing it on, you do want to give some thought as to what side you want showing. So you might have wanted the brown inside there, in which case you would have glued to that. The last step is putting the button on and the tie. So this is, I am going to take, so when I cut my ribbon, I cut it on the diagonal so it would be easier to thread. So I'm going to thread the ribbon through one hole, and then this one has 4, so I'm going to pick the one that's opposite. And see if I can get my ribbon in there. Okay, wouldn't you know it? Okay, and then I am going to pull it all the way through. And now at the end, I am going to tie a double knot. I mean, just tie a knot. And I'm going to actually, I'm going to do 2. Because I want to make sure whatever you're doing, you have to make sure that whatever is at this end is bigger than what you've used here. So you could use a bead here, but you want to make sure that the knot is bigger than the center of the bead so that it won't slip off. So this can be, you can go like this, it will hang up. You can move your button, bring your book around, and pull your button, and now you have your piece that hangs. And I'll just one kind of quick word of caution. You want to make sure that you don't have, that this is quite close. You can see here, this is a little bit high, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm just going to snip just the tiniest bit of the point off so that when I go to open it up, it will open a little easier. If you notice this, there's pattern on this. This is what I did for the cover. This is something that I found on the inside of a security envelope that came in the mail. So you can find pattern anywhere. And then I took colored pencil and I colored it in to enhance the pattern a little bit. One kind of caution about this book. I set this one up as if I would either wear it as a necklace or I would just read it. So when I turn the pages, I read family, I read the different things that I've written. If you are going to make it something that you use predominantly as kind of as an ornament that you hang up, that's a little bit different. Because what will happen, the way that I did it, you will end up with one section where the word is, the right is kind of, and the other where it's upside down. So you need to think about that. If you want it to be predominantly hanging, you want to think about that before you go ahead and write and arrange your words that way. The book can also be different sizes and different shapes. So this is a little one that I made, which I think is really kind of sweet. The thing about this is that you'll notice that it is a little bit different shape. It's kind of, it's got him. So I can take my book and on the open side here, this is where all the folds are. This is the open side. I can do any cutting I want up here. So I could make it kind of more of a circle. I can make it more of a scallop. And by doing it this way, what I've done is then my pages are going to end up a little bit more like flowers. So I hope you'll have fun with your book necklace, and thanks for watching.